Did you know that out of the last 7 British Prime Ministers who have held the power over the tumultuous last 10 years, only 2 have actually managed to leave office via the standard general election defeat, while the rest were forced out by sudden internal political coup? This Wednesday, that cycle of political instability has claimed its newest victim right in the heart of London. Corporate media might tell you Western democracies represent absolute stability. The raw realities on the ground tell a story immediate internal panic, from a shocking leadership collapse outside of 10 Downing Street to an absolute logistical nightmare exploding thousands of miles away in Russian Urals. The global chessboard is underground hyper-escalation that completely rewrites international defense and resource control. On your Wednesday Global Hub News, we're tracking a breaking resignation of the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, devastating 1,200-kilometer drone strikes on Russian vital military infrastructure, and a damning World Bank report on global energy waste. Stay with me, subscribe right now, hit the notification bell to keep your global perspective sharp. We're going to start with the absolute political earthquake rocking Western Europe. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has officially stood outside his residence at 10 Downing Street and announced his resignation as a leader of ruling Labour Party, cutting his tumultuous reign short after just 23 months in power. The announcement follows a catastrophic wave of record-breaking defeats in local election, where working-class voters overwhelmingly abandoned Starmer's platform in favour of insurgent populist parties. The internal mutiny peaked when his fierce intra-party rival, former Manchester Mayor Andy Burham, successfully won a parliamentary seat in by election last week, explicitly creating an immediate path to challenging Starmer directly for the top job. Now, Starmer swept office in 2024, promising technocratic competence, but instead delivered aggressive domestic atrocity policies and harsh crackdowns on human rights and anti-war activists that completely alienated his base. His administration collapsed under the weight of severe economic stagnation, deteriorating relation abroad, and elite establishment completely out of touch with everyday citizens. So it looks like by him stepping aside for an open leadership concept, Starmer has left the United Kingdom heading into a volatile summer recess without permanent leader. It proves like no matter how massive an initial electoral landslide looks on paper, any Western administration that isolates its own working class voter to cater to corporate elites will face swift, unceremonious execution by its own rank and file. Share this channel right now. Share this episode with your family. Be sure to click the notification bell, subscribe, and comment below what are your thoughts. Now, while the political architect fractures in London, the physical architect of global warfare has been pushed past a dangerous new threshold in Eastern Europe. Ukrainian forces bypassed standard frontline combat entirely, launching a highly sophisticated, ultra-long-range drone assault that struck deep into the Russian mainland. Targets was sprawling Orenburg gas processing plant and its Aject helium facility, located more than 1,200 kilometers away from the front line, sitting right at the border of Kazakhstan. Ground footage from local residents and NASA thermal fire detector satellites have confirmed massive active infernos ranging inside the industrial zone. Now, this facility isn't just an ordinary state resources. It's one of the world's largest gas chemical complexes, processing 45 billion cubic meters of gas annually and accounting for a staggering 60% of all gas processed by Gazprom Parabutica. But here, the critical military angle, the corporate news are basically missing. I would say the Orenburg helium plant in Russia, only producer of pure helium and ethane. Now, these are the foundational components required to manufacture a specialized liquid fuel rocket engines, satellite guidance systems, and high-grade military aviation installations. So by this turning into a single complex ball of fire, Ukraine has successfully choked out this high-tech supply chain that fuels Moscow's advanced guidance infrastructure. It is you can say a devastating logistical blow that forces Russia to pull its scarce air defense system away from active battlefields just to shield its deep industrial core from total incineration. While precision drones strike targets industrial infrastructure, a quiet and massive environment crime is being exposed on the global economic stage. The World Bank has officially released its annual global gas flaring tracker, and numbers are absolute indictment of the international energy management. It's revealing that global gas flaring has surged for the third consecutive year, reaching a staggering 167 billion cubic meters of wasted fuel. That is a massive amount of energy wasted at a more than 54 billion and completely exceeds the total volume of liquefied natural gas currently transiting through the highly contested Persian Gulf. The report directly names the top offenders driving a systematic collapse, showing that 9 nations, including Russia, Iran, Venezuela, and the US, are responsible for more than 80% of this massive global waste. This is happening at the exact same moment the world poorest nations developing are facing extreme domestic power blackouts and skyrocketing utility bills. The World Bank is saying that ending this routine flaring would require less than 2 years' worth of capital currently being burned into atmosphere, but the international community refuses to act, choosing instead to protect inadequate corporate regulations and maximize the short-term oil extraction profits while allowing billions of dollars in vital resources to literally evaporate in thin air. So somewhere tonight, an ordinary family in a developing country is sitting in a dock to extreme power shortages, while major world powers literally turn billions of dollars in gas into the atmosphere and trade long-range rocket strikes across continents. But the leaders of the global order of this profoundly detached from basic human resources. Now, who is in this international system truly built to serve? Share your Wednesday global briefing with someone who refuses to be distracted by the mainstream headlines. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the collapse of Downing Street will fundamentally alter Western alliances? Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fi amanillah.